A senior officer stands on the quarterdeck on the day of his retirement. He has led troops, managed multi-million-dollar resources, and navigated high-stakes crises. Looking out at the civilian world, the future feels limitless. The assumption is that a resume filled with high-stakes decision-making and operational command should translate directly into a senior corporate security role. To see how this assumption holds up in practice, consider a standard hiring scenario for a corporate head of security position. Consider two candidates. Candidate A, 32 years old, 8 years corporate experience. Candidate B, 54-year-old veteran, 30 years military service. When evaluated, Candidate A is selected with surprising frequency, leaving the veteran wondering where the calculation went wrong. This outcome happens because the veteran has entered a different ecosystem. In this environment, military rank and corporate rank are not interchangeable, and the extraordinary assets that mattered most in uniform are viewed through an entirely different lens by civilian gatekeepers. To understand why the selection favors the younger candidate, we have to look at how these two worlds measure human value. In the armed forces, value is cumulative. Time served directly correlates with competence and prestige. In uniform, your experience is your primary currency. This chart shows the collision of two different systems. While military value trends upward with time, corporate shelf life does the opposite. It drops sharply as a candidate passes age 50. Corporations calculate value based on how many productive years a candidate has left before they reach retirement age. Hiring managers prioritize succession planning. They are looking for a candidate who offers a 15-year runway, someone they can mold into a regional leader, rather than someone who may only stay for 4 to 8 years before superannuation. Through this lens of return on investment, a 54-year-old veteran is viewed as a limited investment with an expiring horizon. This shelf-life reality is particularly visible in corporate security leadership, a field with different constraints than independent advisory work. Vacancies for senior security positions in sectors like manufacturing, aviation, and IT are scarce, and the market for these leadership roles is remarkably narrow. For those few openings, veterans face a crowded field of former police officers, internal company talent, and younger specialists with industry-specific certifications. Because military credentials do not transfer automatically, a senior commandant or colonel often enters the corporate industry effectively at the entry level for that specific sector. A veteran's effective corporate shelf life is often shorter than their biological age suggests. Waiting until retirement to plan a transition means losing the most valuable years for building industry-specific credibility. Changing this outcome requires a mindset shift. Preparation must begin while the uniform still fits. This shifts the transition from a 6-month scramble into a deliberate 5 to 10-year project of professional evolution. During this period, the goal is to master the languages of business, specifically corporate governance and risk management, business data analytics, and profit and loss metrics. By retirement, the candidate is a business professional whose military background is a specialized layer of expertise, rather than their entire profile. Even with preparation, relying on a single head of security role is a strategic vulnerability. This outlines a resilient model, building parallel professional options. A veteran develops paths toward corporate leadership, independent consulting, and academic research. Entrepreneurship, launching firms in security technology, allows them to bypass the HR shelf life metric entirely by creating their own value. Developing these various options provides the professional with leverage, ensuring their career trajectory is not dictated by a single employer's timeline. While military service forged the leadership for the first career, deliberate preparation creates the choices for the second. In the civilian world, having those choices is the most reliable form of security.